it's readily available without exchange. You know, the we'll talk about that in a second, but that goes way back to the beginning. You know, where ego and empathy got created. You know, it was all in commerce. It was all in, hunting and then giving out food. And what was the exchange for the food? The appreciation, the later known on in English as thank you. And that appreciation, the word thank you, lost its value in exchange for capital, for money. And so people who can't afford these services usually don't end up getting them. I had a lady who gave me a money order when I specifically told them really not to, that we only do cashes, or you can pay with a credit card for your room service and everything, but you gotta bring cash for your services because we have no way of cashing it. So I had to return it to her, and it was no big deal. But every single step, I was like, you know, it's all good. We'll still see you on Tuesday, no matter what. Oh well, it's gonna cost $45. That's fine. We'll cover the $45 if you can still pay. If not, if you can't even cash it, keep it as a memento. We don't even worry about it. This is not, it will come. We just want to help you, and through helping you, even the universe will figure it out. It'll happen. Um, 4 or 5 emails, and every time it ended up being like a personal attack on me. Well, you needed to learn how to do better business. You need to learn how to get the bankings. You need to maybe go to a class. And at every point, it's like, okay, well, I'm in this business and the federal government regulates it. So unfortunately, there's nothing I could do about those type of things. Second, yes, banking services. We were able to get the banking services set up here in Oregon. I personally worked on this project. Okay, I personally got the people out here. I personally set up the meeting. I was the one that hosted the sponsored event that had them out there, and that's what we did. We worked on the framework. We built out the framework, and this particular person at the bank, I don't want to drop names on who's who, just in case, protect, because banks are very finicky about these things, you know. Um, yeah, So we set that up. They're a great person. Oh, I didn't realize that. Like, yeah. So, still your services are available. I appreciate you. Well, you need to go to courses, maybe learn how to do business. There's courses at the college. Okay, well, the wonderful person over there. I've met them through the Chamber of Commerce. They're wonderful. Unfortunately, when I went to set up to do some courses over, learning payroll out here in Oregon, because it's a little bit different than a lot of other states. Um, yeah, so, I would have to figure that out, right? And they were like, that person was like, yeah, we're federally funded, so I can't enroll you in the program. But, you know, there are some free classes, but honestly, Willie, I think it'll be a waste of your time because you seem to have a pretty good grasp on how business operates at its basic levels and even a bunch more of its advanced things. I just don't have a lot of experience with payroll because that's something you do through banks, and I don't have any experience with banks. I have experience with all cash because our businesses have generally not been allowed to bank. Um, you know, people will say too, like this is some new idea that they'll cancel your bank accounts because of what you say on Twitch or something or YouTube. This is not a new idea. We have had this problem for a long time. It was just for cannabis users and psilocybin providers that had these issues. So you keep moving forward. You keep offering the services out there, and you keep going. But then on the other side of the spectrum, so you're offering services for $6.95, right? You start getting the wealthy people who are calling you up wanting services. Now the thing is, and I've discovered this is, wealthy people are great at pretending they care, but they care about one thing only, and that is not, I'm not advocating to eat them. I'm not advocating against them. That's just their perception of the world. That's how they perceive it. So that's how they interact, and we can't be mad at that. But yeah, they tend to be a little bit more. So they'll say, so we've changed our policy. Our policy now is the $6.95. If you call and you book, I'm going to ask you if you can afford it and if you still need empathetic pricing, because if you do, we do have some outside sources that we could set you up with. It will take much longer than what I could have done because I was just doing the services as I can. If I do have a slot to squeeze you in and you can afford your psilocybin, we'll do that. But we only have basically one extra slot per week. So if that is not available, that's not available, right? So the $6.95, if I could book for the 3, but I have to keep the 3 open because I require the 3 to stay operational. And operational, I'm not even saying stay operational where I get to go take a vacation to Hawaii or I get to wear new shoes. No, I don't get that at that price. But that's okay. I'm used to it. I can live it. So the wealthy people, though, when they see the $6.95 price, they'll talk about it. We'll say, hey, it's $6.95, but normally we would charge $2,500 or $3,200. If you can afford those prices, we ask that you still pay those prices, because if you do, we will then make sure that those slots are available for people who can't afford it at super reduced cost or no cost. And you're in hopes that they still book $2,500, but they don't. They might put $200 down extra, which then means I have a salary. So, because I still need to somehow feed my kids. I still somehow need to pay my rent. My boys like internet. And let's be honest, the only reason we've had internet recently is because our 14-year-old went to work. Yeah. Boy, felt proud as shit that day. Oh, yeah. So proud. Because one day little Bronson was being unruly, and the rule is, you play Minecraft, but if you be fussing, you lose it real quick. Because, you don't fuss over a video game. You can cry in real life when things are hurting you. In the video game, you're rough, you're tough, you got this. You can mourn, but you gotta keep going. And so he was, okay, I want to turn off. You know who has the internet? If you ain't playing with it, and I just also hear, well, not this month. I have the internet. And if I want my little brother to play, he's going to play. so I got beat that month. I couldn't say anything because, he was right. He did pay the internet that month. Like we just barely paid our water bill, Can I make money? Am I some idiot that don't know how to make money? Hell no. I could easily pop up underneath the counter, put in all my drawers a bunch of vape bars, come up real quick, pay for the license, and pay the fine if I got caught. Have 10, 15K a month just rolling in, right? And that's the cost. You cut that in half, it costs good, so 5. It's still only making like $3,000-4,000 a month. But that's what my rent is. My rent's $1,500, $1,600. It just adds up. I'm just being so real here. That's what you're just gonna get. You're gonna tune into this 30 days live stream. If you're one of my friends, I appreciate you dropping in. If you're a new friend, thank you. This is just me, putting it all out there, putting all my stress, putting everything I've worked on, everything I've given up, all my sacrifice, what my dreams are, what I'm trying to get to, what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm just putting it out there right here. Get in the cold, hard me and smelly jammas with spaghetti, or not spaghetti, but chicken grease. Sleeping at the spot because I ain't going nowhere. Just waiting for the process. I got a couple months left before the license is up. I'll be at SciCon in October. And we're hoping to team up and work with some great people. Hopefully they can see the vision, what we've already established, and help achieve the dreams together. Because dream work makes teamwork makes the dreams work with an S. But I just gotta be careful with my time too. I'm gonna make sure not to waste my time on anybody whose conversation is specifically capital wise, just because I still don't quite understand it. I know we can make a business that can, pay out some dividends here and there. There was a lot of hope, but it's definitely a much longer battle than expected. I think if we can establish the New Age club, I think it would be beneficial. I think it would work. And I think that could be a fairly profitable thing. The therapy model, I mean, like, I was, yeah, yeah. There was a missing piece I didn't know moving into this, the insurance industry. The insurance industry, the therapy industry exists because of the insurance industry. The pharmaceutical industry exists because of the insurance industry. The insurance industry is the main source of all of this. It is the reason your doctor has a nice car. It is not because he makes money off of his services. It's the insurance industry that decides who, what gets paid, what got diagnosed as what's coded for what, and who gets paid. And even when I was working with therapists, we would just meet therapists that were like, I want to get involved. I want to do something. And it was just like, okay, here it is. I will offer you services. You can go ahead and offer it to your people, and you can actually make an income off of that, and that'd be great. No one could do it. There was not any, even at the 695 price. It just doesn't fan through. It doesn't work. It doesn't make it happen. The therapists are being paid way more, but they're on a constant feed loop. So like if you go and get therapy, it could be 2-3 months before that therapist actually gets paid. And so for them, even, it's just kind of this cycle of just this constant, and then of course the thing is too, you set your prices, and then the insurance companies decide what they're actually going to pay you. There's no freedom in that sense there, and that's what could potentially happen with this space. And that would be bad for what I think would be a long term, because people are just looking to connect with people and loosen up and relax, and that's what mini dose does. That's what the small ones do. It can be more of a not go out, get drunk and fall and break your leg, but more of a go out, have a fun time, drink some mocktails, play some video games, color, dance, paint, enjoy yourself, and not have the hangover, not have the horrible things that come with it. I mean, even we're not going to have the transportation plan discussion, but we have transportation plans. We have to abide by them. We have to make sure a client has gone through the allotted time that they're required to be there. check on it, make sure they sign a form that says that their administration has ended, and then they have to follow through with their transportation plan to get home, or back to their hotel or wherever they're going. And so, that exists. You don't have that for your local club or your dive bar, you know. And that's where I could see this. That's where I could see this being financially feasible, because under the current model, it is not financially feasible. It is not without the insurance companies paying Uber and just doing what they do, because individual persons cannot afford it like that. Cannot afford it like that. So, and then yeah, there's a whole industry built on it. And you're talking about a lot of upper middle class folks, and you lose upper middle class and the middle class folks, it's just going to get worse for everybody. These classism is not a individuals, groups, and one group does better, so the other group does better. That's not, one group did bad, middle class did bad, so the other group is going to do way better. No. That's not how this thing works. The gap gets further and further and wider, and we are all in it together. There, obviously, the gap between the bottom and the top is much further, and it just widens out. It doesn't shrink. Ladders don't go up. You don't move up the social economic ladder without the social economic ladder moving down a notch or two. And we really have to change the way we work together and talk to one another and conversate and have discussions and be accepting of ideas that might not be of our own, might not be the same. And even getting down to, we do have something beautiful here. I think we've lost the way. I think we, controversial take. Ready? This is going to make a controversial take. No one's going to like it. And I've had this discussion with various people, various ethnicities, who we've had these discussions, and heck, the only reason I'm saying this discussion right now is because I was convinced by somebody that you would not think would convince me of this. The Civil War, the original Civil War, right? Think about it. Think about it for a second. There's a couple things that happened from the Civil War. The federal government overthrew states' rights, even though it was completely wrong, and I just want to make that be known. Completely wrong. They were fighting for the wrong idea. Okay? But at its core, the states' rights to govern themselves was kind of stripped away, and another thing was executed. It was executed, and it was called an income tax to fund the war. That thing never went away, and the states' rights were always kind of under question afterwards. No one cared about the 10th Amendment. Now, was slavery bad? Very much, yes. Was the South bad? Very much, yes. Was there a lot of bad people in there? Yes. I'm not advocating for a rise of the South at all. No. Those were some yokels. They just didn't want to work that hard, and that was bullshit. But that guy just drove by on that cat. It was a skateboard with his cat in town. It's great. Cat just rides on the shoulder. But it did change the way we as states look at ourselves. And I think the thing is, and the reemergence of cannabis, and the importance of the reemergence of cannabis is that state rights are important, and that one state should be able to decide what they want to do. And there's a particular presidential candidate that says this. I do not like that presidential candidate. I think he is egotistical. I think he loses his damn mind all the time. He is not a good leader. He does not piece things together very well. He does not work well with people. He is definitely just like the billboard poster, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, he wants that attention, and that's about it. However, his, talk about letting it go to the states decision, is, a controversial take, right? For me, I live in Oregon, so I was a little confused because I live in Oregon. We have some of the best women's rights, and body rights, and choice rights. But I seen people protesting, and I'm like, wait, what are we protesting though? Because we already have these rights in the states. We don't have to change that. That wasn't for us. Um, but I get it. You're protesting for the people of like Texas or some of those Bible Belt states, and that makes sense. But we also live, we should be able to freely move. Um, I think that was another important part of our Constitution was the ability to freely move for that reason. If you don't like your state and what they're particularly doing, you can freely move. You can freely move and go establish somewhere else. I know it's not the best option. I know it's not the greatest, but that's possible. And then on top of that, you have the right to petition your government. So if you don't like it, you still have the right to petition your government, gather up votes, get it on a public vote, and vote it in. We did that with cannabis. We petitioned our government. I took lots of efforts to do so. I worked on 4 different efforts before the effort was successful. I gotta say too, we had efforts that had way more support from the cannabis side of things, and then efforts that had less support from the community. And the one that had less support from the community got, we were able to get way more signatures and vote. Like, it's just whack. It's like, did you guys forget to vote? Like, when we did that thing and you guys were all supporting of it, did y'all get way too high and actually forget to show up at the polls? Because we lost by like 4 to 6%, right? But we won by 6% on like a 502, I think. It was like 6%, I think. So what's up with that? Why is that happening like that? But we have that ability. We can redress our government. We can do that. And so when it boils down to it, we should have more of a states' rights. And I think cannabis was the kicker for that. Because cannabis was a states' rights issue. And eventually the federal government had to release a memo. It was an Eric Holder memo that said, hey, it's a states' rights issue, and if a state chooses to do this program, it does it. Now we're facing a new one, and this is a call to action. In December, the Drug Enforcement Agency is taking on testimony from the people, the public, experts. So if you are a activist, if you have ever been healed, or if you have ever been saved by it, I know lots of people have. Actually, that reminds me, I have one other person I need to reach out. She needs to know about this because she's been on a lot of stations, a lot of news, and I'm pretty sure if she gets back out there, they might pick her up so that we can get this conversation going. Because what this is doing is the DEA is opening this up. This is allowing for those expert testimonies and public testimonies to be put on the public record. That's never been done. When this was banned, it was banned by the government, by the federal government. It wasn't banned by the people coming together, representatives saying, "Hey, we got these studies and they're showing this." No, it just was banned. So to have on the public record, all the stories of how many people it's helped, how many people it's helped. I don't want to say the wrong word, so we're just going to avoid that. But because there's particular words that you say, and if you say the C word, you might get in a lot of trouble. So we're not going to go that route. We're not going to get kicked off. This is all for informational purposes only. And every single one of those persons had their own perspective of their idea of what helped them, and they perceived that to have helped them. And therefore, I'm just sharing their stories as well as my own stories. And so, you know, make sure to get out there December 2nd. Make sure to follow that up. Make sure to check into that if you are a person who enjoys the finer green things of life. Because we have that right. We have that right. And I think if we are to get this to being a better world, we need to get into smaller area, smaller state tribe type things, but not state tribes as my tribe's this, I'm going to take from your tribe, but as in like we're going to work together, but we're still going to, this particular area, yeah, we're cool if a dude wants to wear a dress, okay? You can still shop with us. I ain't mad at you, okay? I'm reminded of, and I put this video out there, and I don't think people are going to catch on to it. It's a quote. And if you know the movie, I didn't know it was a movie. I was oh God. I don't think, you can't go to jail for handing out flyers, so, but I know that they still harass these people even though it was 20 years ago. But, I enjoyed a particular mask and would don it and meet with various people who had an idea. I don't even like saying it because it got pulled. Like, it's like, we're all like, yeah, man, this particular thing is happening with the federal government and the banks. And this thing, we uncovered this with this bank. And, yeah, there's the potential that these camps are being kind of set up, and there might be potential of like specific zones, that are allowed or not allowed to go to, and and a particular, money system that will be, fully implemented, and then you got the guy like, oh, and lizard people are, taking kids to pizza parlors. You're like, what? And if you believe those things, you can believe what you need to believe to make it through the world. Is that happening at some level? Yes. Do I think it's happening as some diabolical underground entity that's ruling everything? Definitely not. This is not the lizard people coming up from Alaska or the Antarctica. But you do what you need to do. This movie I love because I discovered it after, I'd spent roughly 2.5 years handing out flyers, doing, promotions where we did like a trick or treat promotion where we were handing out flyers in solidarity with Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street, all that good stuff. And, and so I loved it, and then somebody's like, oh, you have to see this movie. You know the movie? The V for Vendetta? I'm like, what? Oh, I don't know about this movie. And then I watched it, and I was blown away. I loved it. I was like, this is great. And that movie is from that quote because she finds the letter. Of course, V was feeding her the letter, but the letter was a real letter from, a person that was in the psychiatric ward with him. And it was a poor woman who, was persecuted for, loving someone. And the letter ends with the phrase that, even I don't know you, I still love you. And I think that's a powerful message. We need more of that. We need to be able to say that. Even though I don't know you, I still love you. We need that. We need to be okay with that. We need to be okay with everyone's going through a struggle. Just because some poor migrant wants a better life, not to have to worry about getting shot up or robbed daily for the little bit that they get, to provide a place for maybe their kid to grow up where they're not being harassed. Yeah, man, that's okay. Even though you might want a house where you're safe and you know that you're, when you send your kids to school, they're not going to read some book that you disapprove of. That's okay. Let those people be them. Have those feelings. Be accepting of those feelings. Make sure to go down to your local library and check on it. Make sure when you do get across that border that you go ahead and get a good job and chip in, you know, contribute. There's more ways to contribute than just having a fourth of your money taken by people who you think is going to do it better than you. Come on, man. Look at what they spend, and it's every single one of them. We trick ourselves to every 4 years. I feel it's a cycle. That's why it's an 8-year cycle. Every 4 years, we trick ourselves into believing something. Then we go through a process of being like, maybe it wasn't, but then it's like this. Then we go through a process. Well, it's the other one that's messing it up, and then we just check out. And then the next set comes in, and then of course the next set is like, well, those people didn't care, the boomers didn't care, these guys don't care, Gen X don't care, and they're just run ragged. They run ragged because no matter what side, no matter what system, no matter what who you believe in, it tends to all boil down to the same concepts. It tends to always boil down to the same concepts. Capital rules everything. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Wu Tang, forever. You need to diversify your bonds. That's what it is. It's capital. The newest capital is even worse because the newest capital has figured out how to prey on um, capital investors, and that is just the newest thing, right? Like that is just it is growing exponentially, and you can make a business and sell your business, right? But who are you selling it to? These capital investors, and what they're going to do is, they're going to take your business that's getting some headlines, getting some good things. They're going to chop it all up. They're going to reduce the cost by reducing your quality. They're going to reduce the cost by reducing your workers. They're going to reduce the cost by reducing your benefits. They're going to ship jobs to different states so they could pay different amounts. It's so funny. Dutch Brothers, perfect example. Oregon-based company, IPO, Wall Street. Everybody's happy. Oregon company is going to be great. Dutch Brothers is, everybody's going to enjoy Dutch Brothers. Going to grow. Yeah, they got into some new locations, but really, what did they do? They started cutting costs. Now the headquarters is in Arizona, and I'm laughing because I refuse to go to Arizona. My people were like, we should go to Arizona because it'll be more cost effective, and we could hire immigrants to do all the work and just send them away. And I'm like, aren't you on the team that believes that immigrants are destroying the country and are like against people loving each other? You constantly tell me this, but you want to hire a bunch of immigrants because that you can pay them little and just go through them if you don't like them. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm not going to screw over my business partners. I'm not going to screw over the people who are working for us, and we're going to go and we're going to keep trying to keep at it. Unfortunately, though, I got in a car wreck and I was unable to maintain the thing myself. And yeah, we couldn't get enough capital to really get those going. So we produced products, we got them on Amazon, we sold them, we OEM'd products for other companies. It went really well, but our own product line never really got produced. Um, it got produced in another product which had my name on the bag, but then they were run around and sell mushroom bars in the various other states, and they were constantly on me about this. And I'm like, I'm literally and then watching him run around like a chicken with his head cut off because the person coming into town is the billionaire, and he's flying in on his private G6. Like there's levels to it. No matter what level you think you get to, there's always another level, and that's what these investment firms build on. They build on the idea that you're going to get to the next level because they're going to give you enough that you'll get to the next level. You'll sit there for a while, and that's what it is. But your entity, that's the exchange. That's a sacrifice. Your entity gets sacrificed. I mean, how many times have you had a product that you absolutely love that just went downhill drastically? Because it got bit off. Like Chipotle used to be the thing. Like Chipotle was bomb. It was delicious, but eventually it wasn't because it was sold. It overdid it. The quality got cut. The streamline got brought in. And that's what happens. That's what that system does. And is it inherently bad? No. Is it inherently good? No. It's part of our cycle of life. It's part of our earth. It's part of who we are. And it's up to us if we're going to what we're going to do with our own selves. Are you going to buy into it or you're not? It's not something that we can inherently stop. It's something that we just need to all kind of wake up to. And that's why I do what I do. Because the more people I meet that have had these experiences, the more awake they are. I mean, dude, you should watch some of these doctors do it. I mean, there are certain doctors, like, I got nothing but love for you guys. And it's so funny because, I'm showing up at this venue, and we're the guest of honor because we're the first licensed people, right? And so we're like, we're getting introduced to all these people. We get introduced to this doctor, and he's like, oh, forgive me while I, smoke, and, I'm just out here in shorts smoking in Denver. And, he's all looking around paranoid. He's like, I'm looking like a degenerate. And I'm like, no, sir. This is what a degenerate looks like. Like, you're good. And so, a few months later, I catch up with him, and he has a passionate speech, passionate talk about just the capital system and how it's, and that's the thing, we get so stuck in, like, our brains are so left or right, one or two, black or white, red or blue. We have no vision for gray. We have no vision for a rainbow of color. Like, is capitalism inherently good or inherently bad? No, neither of those is true. Is communism inherently good or inherently bad? No, neither one of those is true. It has good aspects, it has bad aspects. Some of it works, some of it don't. Some of it works in earlier stages, some of it works in later stages. The idea, though, is there's something that's out there that we haven't quite achieved because we're always constantly trying to look up. Don't look up. Look at ourselves. Look at us. Oh, that's deep. That movie might have a deeper meaning, if you think about it. Look at ourselves. Work together with ourselves. That's where we need to be looking. We need to be looking there. And right now, I'm looking at you. And I appreciate you staying here and talking with me during this little 2-hour talk that I just had. This rant, this rave, I don't know what you call it. I'm going to save this one, and it's probably on my feed for my breaks. We're going to be live for 30 days. I'm working every day. I pass out when I pass out. I work if I'm not, or I'm conversating with you, helping create content, and getting the thoughts out there that we're doing. Why are we doing this? 2 reasons. I'm doing this for my own family, my friends, to just, have a moment with Billy as his true self. Not at the trade shows, not doing the sales pitch. The true me. You usually get the true me, but I'm just pouring it out there for my own boys. Maybe you're watching this years down the road, and just to want you to know I love you. I love you so much, and I always have, and everything I've done has always been for you. It's always just been to try to make it a little bit better. Try to make it so you aren't harassed for this, you aren't harassed for that. Trying to find a world where we aren't so judgmental. We aren't so worried about what others think of us. We aren't worried about what we're thinking about others as much. Just trying to find a balance to it all. And so, I love you, and I'm glad you turned in. And if you're one of the chatters right now, I just want to say that too. I love you. I'm glad you tuned in. I love you like for real. Love has so many meanings. There's so many ways you can say I love you. In Latin, I think there was like 9 different versions, and each one has a different value to it. So, that's what it is. I want you to stay tuned, and make sure you hit that like, hit that follow, get that view, visit the website, tripsoregon.com, hit the link, hit the merch page, maybe buy something cool. Stay tuned. We're going to be offering some prizes, some DJ services. We're going to be doing some events and some fun things. I'm going to sing some karaoke for y'all one night. I'm warning you, though, it's bad karaoke, but it's there. We'll be doing it all. So we're live for 30 days. We ain't going nowhere. We right here. We ain't going anywhere. We right here. This is ours and we don't care. And right here. Till November 20th, we still here. We right here. And mix it up. Beep, beep, beep. With a little bit of Wyclef. We'll be gone in November. Be gone in November. Whether it be to the beach or to a friendlier center, we'll be gone in November. We'll be gone in November. Alright, but that's not the real DJ. I DJ with like actual equipment and stuff. I'm not just going to sit here and look like a crazy guy while I lose my mind while I go through this process. But that's it. Will I make it? Will I survive? Will this be happening? Okay, will I completely lose my mind? Will I get dragged out? Who knows? Stay tuned. Make sure to hit that follow button. And I am going to take a quick break. Y'all have a good one. Right now, or y'all are creating what this digital age has created. People don't just mindlessly watch TV so they can be advertised. They want to engage. They want to know something's happening. And, we're seeing that happen. When I was homeless, no one batted an eye, no one cared. You're just a complete nuisance. I know there's a lot of people that feel like that still, but there's also a lot of people who go out and help the homeless. And I'm 100% for it. Like, even if you're going out and recording, don't go out and record someone's sad life, though. Ask them. Make sure that they're okay with it. Because sometimes that story needs to be told. And if you're encouraged to go out there and get freaking help people, and it gets you views and helps you earn some money, that is good. Like, I do not see anything wrong with that. Yeah, that person is helping themselves and they're helping their little channel, but you can also literally see them giving it back. You literally see them going in, like there's this great guy who goes and buys food. You can see it, So, and they're also encouraging others to do it. I think that when things are, what is this called? It's Plato's, the story of the cave. When it looks like something different that's outside of and normal, people will ridicule it. They're not happy with it. That's what it is, because that's outside the normal. What is considered normal? Get up, take your shower, go to work all day, spend all day, 8 hours of your day, hit lunch, get your little break in, go home, be so tired from the day that you just, eat dinner and fall asleep and do it all over again. 6 days a week, 50 years, 50 weeks, 6 days a week, 50 weeks, not six, most people work five, 50 weeks a year, hopefully you get that 2 week vacation. Most of us ain't getting no 2 week vacation, but add up the maybe couple of holidays you get off, there you go, there's your second week. Is that really normal? Is that normal? It's normal to us because we see it as normal. That's how it's been since this particular day, since the first factory, But is it inherently bad? No. I mean, I live, I would never have bananas where I live, or coconuts. Coconut water. We wouldn't have coconut water, right? So it's not inherently bad. It's not inherently bad that that we have a system that people do work with. What is inherently bad is that we just get lost in continuously working on it and perceiving what we perceive others as, like way too much. Like way too much. Like, let's do that. Let's figure that out. Right? So let's see here. I want to pull up let's see here. We're gonna pull a sheet and we'll take it over here. Okay. Perfect. And then I think what I'll do is, so I can keep staring at the computer screen, we're gonna size this up and we'll drop this down. There we go. Yeah. Oh, we can't really see the chat. Yeah. Oh, this. There we go. Now we can see the chat. Okay. We can see the chat. We can see the screen. Let's get back over here. Okay. So, it's a little, off for timing. Let's play with this. I got an idea. We're going to experiment something. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and we're going to do it. I pretty much came up with it while in a session, because when I'm in a session, I am fully there for you. I am not. That's not what's happening. The most, I even tell my clients, the most when I'm on my phone, I'm taking notes for you. I'm setting the music up. That's it. I'm not scrolling through Facebook, because I also find too, your energies. If my energy is answering emails and dealing with problems, well, that energy is felt, and it's the same. So, we don't do phones, we don't do that. But I'm always wondering, and I have contemplated just how much we waste. So, how much does how many calories does the brain use on thinking about, let's just straight up ask the question about others' perceptions. Let's just ask the question. I don't think there's going to be an answer for this, but that's the question I'm asking myself. I want to actually calculate how much energy. I want to calculate how much energy we waste worrying about what other people are thinking about us. How much of time every day goes into worrying about what someone thinks about you? How much of our time and how much of our lives are wasted in those thoughts? Now I know it's super easy for you to probably say, I don't waste no time on that. Be honest with yourself. How much time do you think goes into worrying about what others perceive you as, what others think of you as? You know? I mean, we are literally inside of a box right now, on this video, presenting ourselves in hopes that people appreciate what they see, you know? So how much energy is going to that? How many calories do you have to consume, for this, right? And if you're consuming calories to do this, how much does that calories convert into energy? Because, I think there was a study that did it. There was calories. What was the question? It was how many calories. How many calories it took to get you the sandwich. Yeah, it was a chicken sandwich. That's what it was. It was a chicken sandwich. How many calories and how much energy it took to get the chicken sandwich. And I think a guy even took the experiment a little further and made his own chicken sandwich. And it took him 6 months to produce the chicken sandwich. And the video, it was a mediocre chicken sandwich. So let's see. Does the brain burn calories while thinking? Yes, the brain burns calories while thinking. Oh, wow. So I guess it's burning 20% of our energy just as we go. Okay, I guess I should read this, right? That's how we should do this. Your brain also uses energy to perform normal functions. Although it makes up 2% of your body weight, it burns 20% of the energy you consume. This metabolic activity is generally consistent regardless of what you're doing. So I guess constantly we're doing that. Well, I guess I just squashed the. I'll have to, of course, look a little deeper. You won't want to just accept the first hotline. But I guess that generally squashes it. You need to burn. A mental task. Four 82 calories and 30 minutes of reading. This person would have to read almost 6 hours to burn. Wow. Well, look at that. We just burnt a hole. This is so funny because I have wanted to answer this so long and never really sat down and took the time just to kind of read about it. And the first article is obviously telling that you generally burn the same amount no matter what you're doing. Yeah, we're not trying to lose weight by thinking like this. This article might be just biased, just because it is top SEO has it on its top search. So it's sticky. There we go. That's a good question. This is gonna be deep question. Deep question. Guess I popped a hole in my own bubble here. All right. Well, gotta admit when you're wrong, I guess. So it's saying while thinking burns a tenth of a calorie per minute. So our brains burn about 400 calories per day, plus or minus 10%. The difference is small. Like, okay, so what's that saying? All right. Okay, so let's look a little bit deeper. Just surface level. Popped a hole in the bubble already. So I guess I'm completely wrong. We are not wasting a lot of energy worrying about what other people. Um, well, we're not wasting physical industry. Yeah, we are not wasting physical energy when thinking what others' perceptions of us are. Okay, so I guess generally we're burning 20% of our calories per day naturally, give or take 10%, which equates to about 400 calories per day just to exist. Okay, um, so that is, yeah, not much room for, it would be no, it would be really small to calculate out how much of that is in thought. But let's see. I guess this is counterintuitive though because I've seen a study on. Yeah, so I've seen a study that it takes about. Wow, I'm getting it now. Oh lordy. Okay, so the study I seen was a marketing study. I remember this, and it was all about marketing. And marketing will skew the numbers. So marketing skewed the numbers and said that for marketing, when you're getting to like a marketing message, you want to be less thought. You don't have to have anyone think very far. Otherwise, you lose them after a while because if you're burning calories to think about nothing, your brain will be like, yeah, we're not thinking about that. Let's keep moving, do what we need to do. So, marketing had suggested that, for every page you have to click on or every extra step in the process to getting to your services, that's 45 calories, So, that just makes perfect sense because if we take, let's see, 400. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. So I imagine we need to look that up. But let's see here. Let's go with Google Scholar. Okay. Let's see. Brain using energy while in thought. Oh my god. The abstract. The past decade has witnessed dramatic advancements regarding the neuroendocrine control of food intake. Just so you know, during my channel, you may see me read words that you're like, you didn't say that word right. I did not grow up with people that knew words like these. Um, Pretty low income areas. I'm not saying there ain't smart people there, but when you're, when you're there, you don't like you don't realize that you don't have a lot of people around you. So like I read the dictionary while I was doing time, and there's a lot of words I got familiar with, but I don't know how to say them. You know, because hey, I have this weird accent from moving from the south to the north, so I pronunciate words differently sometimes, and sometimes I don't. And then on top of that, yeah, I just never heard anybody say certain words, so have no clue how to say it. Like one of my favorite. See, I and the problem is I got stuck on it because I would, you know, and I would try to explain to people like, no, man, you have to hear this classical music. Like this is really moving. This is, you know, amazing piece. Yeah, like my friends are like, no, put on put on some Diddy. Yeah, that's in the news today, right? Yeah, we ain't gonna avoid that. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of channels to talk about it. But if you want to talk about it with me, then let me know. Has had a significant understanding of neural control and homeostasis of the small this is considered regional. Huh. You know, cannabis opens up those capillaries. I wonder what's up with that. What the tie could be on that. Glucose, it's all those first order sensory neurons. Huh. Hierarchical neuronal system in response to nutritional signals. Huh? Whoa. It's got some implications, right? So, to paraphrase, they're saying that there's a particular order of nutritional signals. So they'll break things down into like glucose, fatty acids, insulin, and they have a first order, saying that there's actual hierarchy to which neurons, which neural systems get responses from nutritional signals, which makes sense, I guess, right? Like we eat something, um, you know, if we eat something, and please, if you're like a biologist or a scientist in this, jump in, correct me where I'm wrong, okay? I'm more than happy to have these discussions. But it seems to me like, you know, that makes sense because if you're eating something, you gotta know what your next moves are. And so there would definitely have to be a hierarchy to, okay, well, this is resolved. What's next? What do we do next? Man, that word keeps popping up for me. A lot. I've been learning about those. That one's a big one. It's the decrease in food intake and an increase in energy expenditure. they, yeah, yeah, that was fun, right? What did they do there? That wind's blowing that glass pretty big. Right. Hang on, I want to just take a quick break. Not like a break. You guys can stay here, but this camera's just gonna go off for just a couple seconds while I blow bubbles in my chocolate milk. I need to check my schedule real fast. Gotta go. I didn't realize it was 11. My bad. Let me mute.
And then the prompt that I put up is yes. So right now for your bot, this is what it looks like.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to Trips Oregon. Are you interested in exploring? And then if they say yes, then it will go down to asking for their name, their phone number, and their email directly. And from there, we can ask them questions,
Okay.
right?
All right. Yeah. And our goal
So
is to try to get them on a consultation. Always. So I love that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we can do consultations with adding your. Do you have a Calendly? Do you do it through Calendly?
I do it through Zoho Bookings, so I'm completely through Zoho for my
Okay,
CRM and everything.
definitely. So at the end, in the last dialogue here, let me show you. It'll go into appearances. Your book your session, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Make the last dialogue to book the session.
okay, chat. So after this, we're not asking more questions. It just goes directly to your book a session.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna mark this as red so we don't forget it.
And would
Yeah,
the empathetic pricing, would that be something we would do right in there, or would
I
that
believe
be?
so.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. We wouldn't. Yeah, because I think we'd want to add. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. We'll have to rewind and add the empathetic pricing in there,
Okay,
and then book a
that's totally
session.
fine.
Yep.
No worries. We got that. So we're gonna do. Have you experienced psilocybin before, or would this be your first journey? If they say yes, then it goes into. Let's go here. Let's do this, and then you wanted to ask, how was your experience?
Yep. Yep. And how was your experience? Would you like to tell us about it?
Experience, and then would you like to tell us about
Yeah, because
it?
that's using your guys' service properly, because then they'll give me all the information I need before the consultation, save us a whole lot of time during the consultation. So
Okay,
yeah,
and then we're gonna ask this as a text statement,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what that was. Okay, so if they say yes, it goes into number 3. How is your experience? Would you like to tell us about it? From there, we want to. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even sharing my screen. Okay. So you can't see what I was doing. Okay, so we're gonna go back to here and share this. Okay, so from there you want to ask, would you like a brief overview of our different sessions such as microdosing, macrodose, or the hero's journey to see what might suit your intentions?
Yeah, that's
And then
No, let's drop that
be...
one. Let's just drop that one. I don't think we really need to know that one.
Okay, so then it's like, do you need information on our empathetic pricing or scholarship services options to make our services more accessible to you?
Yep, that's a qualifying question. Yep.
Okay, so from here, we're going to share this tab. Where do we want to put that question?
Have you experienced this item before? This will be for sure with us. Tell us about the fourth question.
So, okay, the fourth question. And then they can say yes or no.
Yep. And if they say...
and you want this only to be asked... you don't want this question to be asked for... if they say no, this will be my first journey. You just want to go to your schedule, right?
Yeah.
If they say no... But if they say yes, how was your experience?
Oh,
and then
no, you're right. You're right. 100% you're right. Because we do want that question to be asked.
Okay, so we're just going to skip this to number 4.
Okay.
We're going to do this.
Thank you for helping me map this out. Jeez.
No, you're so good. I know this is like super confusing, so you're totally fine.
I get it though. I've been
worry.
trying to figure it out for like 3 months now. So
yeah.
And if you see my bot, it works somewhat. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you need information on our empathetic pricing scholarship for services? First, let's map down the questions that we want, and then we can map it of like, oh, if they say no, it goes to this question. If they say yes, it goes to that question. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Just so it makes it easier on our end.
Good.
And then from there, consultation booking. Let's book a free consultation. This will be our last dialogue, right? So this is gonna go over here. So the last dialogue, instead of thanks for sharing this information with us, we're gonna do it here where it asks, let's book a free consultation to discuss your interests and your needs. And then from here we can add the link, like, hey, please click on this link, and then we can get started.
Perfect.
Right?
Yep. And I'm
you
gonna
want to send over me the link?
That's exactly what I was gonna do. Great minds think alike.
Just do it in the chat within our Google Meet.
Okay, copy. Let's see. All right, good deal. I'll make sure I'm not sharing that one. Come on. Brain. So does the link or would the code be better?
I think the link, and then from the link, I think a card could maybe pop up.
Okay.
So let's see if that pops up first, or else we can like brainstorm if it doesn't after we're done with the chat.
Okay, so free. Yeah, so this is for the free consultation, service booking URL, copy. Alright, let's see if I could actually hopefully transfer it from my laptop here. And call messages. There it is.
Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go on to your bot and then paste, save. Okay, that looks good. We're going to publish this and then go back to all bots. Let's see how this looks. Yes. Test.
Oh god, I love my background.
It's so good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, ooh.
and I was like, I don't know if I should do this much color, but
Yeah.
I've even
So
had straight laced people be like, no, that's what got me. All
no,
right.
definitely. Okay, so it looks like the link is popping up like that,
Okay.
but we can hyperlink it, or I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
there's.
send you the widget code just in case the tech guys could mess with that. Okay.
Yeah, definitely do that. Can you send it to me in an email, and then we can see if we can do anything about that, and I will write a note.
Copy that. Let's see.
But for now, it's appearing like that. I think it's fine while we're still setting up stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We'll hopefully have it wrapped up by the end of the week. As long as we get it before Vegas, that'll be fine. Or not
Yeah,
Vegas,
definitely.
Denver. We'll go to
Okay,
Denver.
look.
Okay.
You're in Oregon, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Trips, Oregon, of course.
Trips,
Okay,
Oregon.
that's no. I was like, if we were to get our first psychedelic customer, it would be from Oregon. I'm not gonna lie.
What are we?
Representing.
What's our services called again?
And this is just psychedelics, no?
No, it is psychedelics, but it's Scylla.
Oh, I have to see the word.
You gotta see it.
Okay, psilocybin.
You're getting it good. You're gonna have it down, and I love it.
Okay. I'll practice.
Okay.
I'll practice before next time.
Like I said, it took me a year to get down. And you want to hear a funny story? Here's a funny story. And it's kind of sad. I'm going to break, people's hearts, but we're a family business, so my lady, she still has a rough time saying it. She can't quite say it. But one day I'm sitting here, and my baby boy, he's talking about the customers are going to come in and sit down on the couch, yeah, and then they're going to get psilocybin. I was like, oh my god, my 4-year-old knows how to say.
That's so funny.
Oh man, yeah, but it is what it is. Okay, back to questions. Yeah.
No, you're so good.
And what's your time frame? Just I don't want to run over your order, so if we have to reschedule because I was a few minutes late, that's okay. Okay.
No, you're so good.
Okay.
I'm here until 12.
Okay.
Or until the end of this hour, so I'm with you. I'm just going to. I updated the code as the snippet, so let's see if it works with the snippet.
Okay.
I'm just going to turn off some of the preferences for now, so it doesn't ask all those extra questions. So we can just see how it flows, and then we can go back into your bot and turn those all on.
Okay.
So let me share this tab. We're gonna say yes. We're gonna do test, and then we're gonna just do. Oh, okay. Oh, I think it's
Looped out.
Yeah. Here. Let me share one more time.
I'm thinking about it though. It's almost a double whammy because then that, of course, the form is going to ask for all that information.
The what's it called form?
Yeah, it's the booking
is there
form.
a skip button on those? Because I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can have the direct link be only a consultation link. Like, can you have a separate calendar made through your service that doesn't ask any of those questions, only through the chatbot?
I think I could.
Okay, then let's do that for it then.
Okay, so I will create that on my end real fast, and we'll make that happen.
Okay,
One-on-one
let me
booking.
just-
We'll give it a specific name. We're gonna call it website booking.
Okay, yeah, it's not coming up yet, but I will see what we can do. If not, we can just have the link
Okay.
there.
30 minutes. No buffers.
Okay. Otherwise, for the questions,
Okay.
so after, do you need information on empathetic pricing? The Let's Book a Free Consultation will be your last dialogue. Do any of these questions need to be asked?
No. I was just kind of overdoing it, I think.
Yeah. So do you think we're good with what we have right here?
I think we are.
Okay, perfect. So I
Yeah,
think
because
that's all
our
we
goal
need.
is our goal is just to get that consultation book, and maybe
Okay.
just I think maybe no, you're right. We're doing good. I was like, if we could, we're okay to like listen. Like you could book a consultation. We'll just listen to you. I almost kind of want to express that some way. I'm just not
We
quite
can
sure
do that in
how.
the last dialogue.
Okay.
So our last dialogue currently is
Even if you're
um,
not ready for services, book a free consultation. We're here to listen.
here. So this is what the last dialogue they see after they finish all of this. Right now is let's book a free consultation to discuss your interests on how our services can meet your needs. Don't worry if do you want to add something like don't worry if blah blah blah.
Yeah, let's say let's just add the phrase at the end. We are here to hear your story,
We are here
to hear your journey.
to hear your journey.
Whether you take a journey with us or not. Oh,
Okay.
God, I'm getting way over the top. All right. Keep it simple.
With us or not. And then do you want an exclamation point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, do that, and then let me go back, add the original here.
Okay. So there's the.
Okay, so right now this is gonna be your last dialogue. Let's book a free consultation to discuss your interests and how your services can meet your needs. We are here to hear your journey, whether you take this journey with us or not. Click this link to get started.
Perfect.
Okay, so I will update this. I will ask about the card to pop up. If not, we can just have the link for now, and then I will go ahead and build these questions up for you and
Sure.
update your bot as soon as possible.
Perfect. I think.
Sounds good?
Oh yeah, that sounds great. I think I got one more thing too. I think I want to click on this. I think I want to add in here. I want to add this to our meet. Um, follow us on some of. No, never mind. Don't worry about it. Yep, I'll keep that on the website. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're so good.
Yeah.
If that's it for today, then I think we're all set.
Yeah, I think we're good. We'll get those videos
Do you want a
recorded.
recording of this meeting, or do you think it's fine?
I do. Yeah, shoot me it just in case.
Okay, perfect.
Sweet.
Will do.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
You have a good
Lily.
one. Bye. Okay, that's good. That's good. That thing's gonna work. It's gonna be nice. Much more personal. I'll be plug in. So I was hoping to get her saying psilocybin. She was working so hard to say it. So she was pretty excited. Okay, so and that was their first psychedelic company they're working with. So that's an awesome feeling. Yeah. So where we at? What we doing? Oh yeah, we were on this story. I lost interest though, cause what's my next meeting? Oh, my next meeting is coming up, and I need to start working on. I'm gonna work on getting a bunch of things lined out. All right, but let's scroll down. This is a great little study. It's got me asking some great questions. Let's see here. Are these all the contributors? Where's the abstract? Where's the not the abstract? The concluding remarks. Okay. Concluding remarks on this. Since the discovery of leptin, Much has been added to our understanding of the intricate pathways through which metabolic signals target hypothalamic centers to alter the energy balance. These advances, however, have come in the face of a rising obesity pandemic. You know, when I worked a lot out in the yeah, it ain't no excuse. Find the time to work out. But it's really weird, this system we have. Like, I make the most money sitting down and doing phone calls and doing, sales. Everything else is not as good, you know. But sales make the most money. But it's fickle money. It's up and down money. It's, some months you're killing it, you're doing great, you think you're the best salesperson in the world. Some months you think you're the most horrible person. Why am I doing this? I'm gonna fail. And that's being in sales. Sales just are like that. If any of you all are in sales, make sure you hit that follow button. Give us a shout out. Let's see here. I need to get my other screen up because I know that this TikTok thing, not this TikTok thing, but this. Let's see here. Let's pull one of these and pull it back over here. Bam. What the heck happened? It's like, it went wild over there. It was moving both things. Oh, video. Who's DJing? That looks awesome. Like, are they DJing at 11 o'clock in the morning? That's great. Well, I mean, they're probably in the UK, so it makes sense. Yeah, so hit that chat room. Say hello. Say hello to my little friend. Oh my gosh, I need that soundbite. Is that a soundbite? Hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend. Say hello.
Oh, this is so good. I think you guys heard that.
Hello to my little friend.
I'll have to download that screenshot, screen record it, download it, make that happen. That's gonna be one of my little buttons here soon. I'm gonna be able to push it. It's just gonna say hello to my little friend. Yep, I like that idea. All right. To be more than $120 billion. Damn, the direct and indirect cost of obesity is $120 billion. The amount that is comparable to diseases associated with. Here, let me get this going. delete. Get that there. Get that there. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Let me get that. Okay, it's almost noon. I'm just gonna take a minute. I don't do well with mornings. I just can get up and handle everything I need to do, but my mornings are slow. Yes, gamer Jay, 100%. I definitely think you asked the question: does anyone ever think the corporate media has been influencing every presidential election since 2000 to be as close as possible so they get the best possible ratings to maximize their profits? 100%. It is definitely a big show. It is, furthermore, I would even go as far as say, not only to maximize their profits, I would go on to say to maximize their control profits as well. And not, when I say they, I mean both of them. I think I might have to sign for something. Give me 2 seconds. Thanks, man. You have a good one. Good. They've been maximizing the profits, and I think furthermore too, they maximize and extend, how close it is and how everything's just so this or that, and it's just red or blue, because it's also a great way to keep us kind of in a constant state of fear, a constant state of requiring that I mean, come on, man. Marvel fans, right? Loki says it. You human beings want to be ruled. It made for a great scene where, everybody can stand up and be saved and everything. But the reality is he was right. He is right. The movie Don't Look Up did another great job of showing this. One of my favorite scenes, because I've been saying it for so long. But Jennifer Lawrence so elegantly put it. They're talking about, all these conspiracies, which is funny because in the movie the conspiracy was actually true, but, all these conspiracies of I heard they have spaceships and underground bunkers and they're, this is all a big plan and there's comfort in that. There's comfort in, even if it's diabolical, even if it's the most evilest, situation alive, I mean, we could, talk about, some very recent crazy thoughts that are out there. There's a comfort in thinking that there's entities that are so powerful that run everything, that's got everything under control. And even if it's not in your best interest, it's all under control at least. That is far better concept than the idea that we are all just random space dust that's formed into consciousness, has all these different species, and we are just floating around, a sun on a rock with nobody in control. The only interest is which entity has the most kind of capital following at that time, and it's changed hands a few times. It's gone from a couple different empires, always a particular group of empires that particularly appear like myself, and it's been a constant battle over that since the beginning. Since the first man climbed the hill, or woman climbed the hill and looked over and said, "Look, we aren't alone. There's a fire in the mountain across the way." What do we do? Well, then came the story. So I heard they're gonna do this. I heard they eat people. I heard this. I heard that. Well, we should be proactive, and this person hit that person in the head with a rock, and then it just started, right? Like, it kept going. You can even if you want to take it in the biblical terms, that is the biblical story as well. Cain and Abel, right? How do we go back to that first moment? Well, maybe we apologize all the way back to that first moment, so maybe we can actually start working together and seeing ourselves as a bigger, larger piece to this floating rock. And not that we should learn to go to space to leave this rock behind. This is our rock. This is the life that we all know. This is the life that we're here. I think the idea is we should eventually come together enough to leave this rock to establish life on other rocks, and not just throwing this one away because we trashed it. We used it up and threw it in the garbage. No, we continue it. We let this keep going. We improve our chances by improving how many more rocks we're on. Because there could be an asteroid. And conspiracy theory, exactly. Make it better for the future generations. And that's the conversations we need to be having. We need to be having, not, this person's that, this person's this, I feel like you're this narrative, you must be that narrative, so you're not going to hear what I say about this. We need to start talking about how we're going to make it better for our future generations, how we're going to make it better for our kids. A lot of people in this Twitch forum, you guys are starting to hit those ages where you're starting to have children, and I know you want a better world for them. And not only that, we're in an age right now where people just aren't having children because they're terrified what the world could be. The world's an ugly place, as people say. I don't think it's the world's an ugly place. I think that man's ego has made it ugly. We think of ourselves as this one entity that doesn't, isn't part of nature, but we are very much a part of nature. We are very much a part of everything on this. And I think, a psychedelic experience I personally had, because I am a psilocybin facilitator, was very powerful with the thoughts of establishing this as a, acceptable mainstream medicine. And medicine might be too harsh a word because, of course, there's a bunch of corporate, profiteering that goes with that. But a natural alternative psychedelic healing process for informational purposes only, that kind of help us connect to that part. That's the part where spirit, people say they connect with the spiritual part of things. That's the spiritual part, That's the part that that people of all religions experience during these experiences. Some religions, there's a great story on Rolling Stone about how they turned around. So I think I got a couple customers walking in, so I'm just gonna help them. Nope. Okay, yeah. I think they've seen the no Nick sign. So I tried to put it inside, but I put it underneath the mushroom one so that they can come in, they can see it, they can be like, oh no nicotine, oh but you have psilocybin you do psilocybin services, what? And we do psilocybin services legally in Oregon, okay? And I am not offering psilocybin services to any of you viewers, okay? You can still achieve this by meditation, mental talking. This is just for informational purposes only. You know, for some of us, it has worked. It has been wonderful. For others, you're gonna, not have the same experience. I can say, openly, there have, these products are not associated with tons of deaths, unlike alcohol and tobacco. So everything I'm saying is just for informational purposes only. But I love your question. Thank you, Gamer Jam. Gamer Jam. J-Man. Yeah, they're definitely looking for nicotine bars. I do appreciate your question. And if you guys ever want to talk about that with nicotine bars, let me know because I'm well versed in that field. Not happy with it whatsoever. Love the money. Oh, the money is great. That money is money. That money's good. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna get that charge for my baby boy. Let's see here. Let's see if I can unplug this without unplugging the other one here. Oh. So yeah. We gotta make it for our registry. That's what happened. So for me, my own journey, when my first boys were born, I really wanted to change things. I joined Occupy movement, in solidarity. We marched against Spanx. We marched against police brutality. This was before 2020's marches. Before Ferguson and all that stuff. I'm not saying we were doing it first or nothing, but it was just part of our conversation. A lot of people were marching for net neutrality. yeah, that's only let's say $6.95 times by 3 services per week is boom times by 52 weeks per year, and it's only 108. It's only $100,000, right? I know that seems like a lot, but after you start deducing out your expenditures and everything, it's crazy, you know. So let's divide that by the 12. We're talking $9,000 a month. So that would be the equivalent. So paying $10,000 a year for a license, okay, and at that price, which is our rock bottom price, based on the cost of licensing, the cost of lease, and the cost of utilities, not rent, or not salary, not tissues to cry with, not even water to drink. You gotta do 3 services a week to make that happen. The license to sell nicotine products in this small room is $1,000, 1/10 of the cost, and I could sell $10,000 to $15,000 a month, easy. So the equivalent. So it's 1/10 the cost to help people have these journeys, but to possibly help with PTSD, possibly help with trauma, resolve trauma, helping with anxiety, helping with finding a work-life balance, helping with getting, understanding of loved of a lost one. All of these small things are readily there, are happening, but it costs $10,000 a year to get that license. It should